Just getting set up here for this live stream. How's it going, cuz? How's it going, James? Probably don't need to monkey with my other computer, but just trying to get it so I can maybe read comments on the other computer, but we'll just say screw it. Anyways, how's it going today, guys? Yeah, hot AF is right. It sucks outside. Really, really sucks. I don't know about you, but I don't like hot weather. We go from below zero here just 2 months ago to 106-degree heat index right now. At least that's what it was when I checked an hour ago. Let's see what it says now. Sucks, that's all I know. How hot there, I'll tell you right now. My thermometer says 98 degrees there. My phone says 96 with a real feel of 106. So, not very pleasant. Anyway. Stop playing. Got the swamp ass and meat sweats. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's too slow. So yeah, it sucks outside, I can tell you that. Probably should be at the bar drinking right now, but I think I was at the bar 2 nights this last week, so if I go again right now, they'll probably call me an alcoholic. Alright, boss lady's on her way home. Meet you there. I'll meet you at the bar anytime. Landmark cattle, we are running wheat. Hope to start baling tomorrow. Good luck. You must be close to being done by now, aren't you? And then my chat's going to disappear. Oh, what in the world? There, it's back. How's it going, Farmall? Fanatic? He's for quitters, yep. Yeah, James, I just spray Roundup. And the only reason I only spray Roundup is because of the cover crops. Been talking with Ted, a few other people about some other options, and the issue is with the carryover and everything, a lot of it says to wait 4 to 6 months or longer. So that doesn't really work much or work very well with planting the cover crop following the corn. So here's your first beer. Well, I appreciate that, man. Me and the wife were at the bar last night, so it was beer and pizza night. Now I use my camera act like it's all glitchy. Halfway. Finally stopped raining. How's it going, James? How's it going, bud? Yeah, so it's plenty hot. Let me know in the comments what the video looks like on your guys' end. That's like microbrew. Yeah. King James. Yeah, so it's miserable out. Got that cornfield sprayed, which I'm sure most of you have seen the video now. Back in that valley, it's protected from the east and the south for the most part, so I could spray that. But up here in the yard, the wind's gusting 15 to 20, so I can't spray. Video looks good. Yeah, it might just be mine right here because it looks all jittery. But I usually don't use the computer. I usually use my phone. So now that YouTube went away from having an encoder, figured I'd try the laptop again. Hot as well, no grass growing, feeding bales tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if the grass is growing here right now either. It's miserably hot. But the corn's growing. You walk outside, man, and I know it's the wind you hear, but you swear to God that you hear the corn growing. Because that back field yesterday, there was nothing close to waist high. Now today it's waist high. If I wouldn't have sprayed it today, I don't think I'd have been able to spray it. So it was last minute decision. I'm spraying right now, getting it done. So how many acres is my farm? Well, I run around 140 acres total. So that Mad Dog plus kicks my weeds arse. Yeah, that Mad Dog is at just a 41% concentrate glyphosate. That's what I spray, but normally I spray Tomahawk, and all this morning when I went to my supplier, they switched over to starts with a B. I can't remember what the heck they call it. Still a 41% glyphosate. I'd have got a truck with AC. Heat after rain. It's they're talking storms tomorrow and Sunday. So hopefully we get some rain now and we should be good for a while. And just watch it grow today. Gonna run a cultivator through the food plot tomorrow, 2-row mounted on my grandpa's 51D. He bought new back when he farmed. Well, that's pretty cool. Sounds like a fun time. Hopefully it cools down a little bit. Gonna do an update video. I look forward to seeing it. Neighbor's corn should make knee high by the 4th. Yeah. Oh, I gotta grab the right mouse. I keep getting asked what's up with the 4th, and that's the old timers thing that corn should be knee high by the 4th of July. If it's not knee high by the 4th of July, you've got a problem. If it was knee high by the 4th of July, you're on track. At least that's what I was told. So, everybody that has corn knee high or better by the 4th of July normally is going to have a crop. So, yeah, that would be a nice setup for sweet corn. What temperature? My place, James. It's my thermometer says 98 degrees, and with the heat index says 106, or the real feel says 106. It's miserable outside. You walk out the door and it's like walking into a wall. It sucks. No, cultivating does not work well with the no-till setup. Oh, bear with me, guys. James kind of knows my story here, but I get dizzy while looking at different stuff. So every once in a while, if I look at the screen here, I get dizzy and the world starts to spin. Um, how do you think your yield? Whoa, now they're going too fast. How do you think your yield is doing on corn? I honestly don't know, Brian. I'm hoping for 150 bushel of corn. That's kind of my goal. Um, around here, our county average is 100 bushel. So if you get 120 bushel, you're doing good. This is on dry land, not irrigated. Um, and around here, I normally average 125 to 150. There's been a couple times I got 175 to 180, and other years you're lucky to get 90 to 95. Timely rains are a big thing, and keeping ahead of the weeds because, like I say, I'm on sandy ground. It gets dry fast, so water is a big factor in that. How's it going, Midwest Alice fan? How are the pigs doing in the heat? The pigs are doing fine. They have made a mess puddle to lay in, and they've got fans running, so they're doing good. They stink, but they're doing good. What's going on with the John Deere 60? I am still waiting for that Bendex from John Deere. I'm going to call Monday, and if they don't have it in, well, they've got to call A&I. I talked to them last Friday, and they called A&I, and it was on back order. So I'm gonna call Monday and ask them what's up with it, and if they call and it's still on back order, I'm gonna have them cancel it, and I'm gonna call All States Ag and have them order it, and then I'll just run over and pick it up. The Downing location isn't that far from me. I'll just have them order it in there, and I'll go down and pick it up. But yeah, I'm still waiting on that Bendex, so I can put the starter back together and get it back in the tractor. Wish they would hurry up. If I would have known it was going to be that long of a wait, I wouldn't have uploaded any videos of it yet. I would have just uploaded the videos and made them private until I had all the stuff, and then released a video every couple days or whatever. But I did not think that it was going to take this long to get a Bendex, especially from John Deere. So, WD is nice. Yeah, that's Cuz's favorite tractor. No problem, John. Anything to help somebody out. I mean, there's nothing worse than buying something and you don't have a clue about or what to look at or whatever. The reason I bought the 648 was I have a couple friends that run New Holland, and they told me what to look at before I bought it. Otherwise, I was going to stick with Vermeer. So, and now my next baler, I don't know if I'm going to upgrade to an RB 450 or if I'm going to go back to a Vermeer. I'm kind of looking at the Vermeer 504R, but they both have their pros and cons. The nice thing with the Vermeer is it does not have them sledge rolls in it, but they have a lot longer belts. And when you start adding up the price of belts, it gets spendy. So I don't know what we're going to do. I'm really hoping to get a couple more years out of the 648 before I have to worry about that. Hoping to get a couple more tractors bought and stuff before I have to upgrade the baler. But, come fall, if there's a lot of corn stalks to bale, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I might buy another baler. You never know. 62 in miserable mid to upper 70s next week. That's like perfect. 65 is ideal temperature. 85 here, and we can't do any work. Come on over here, buddy. You can see what 106 degrees feels like. I guess it's really 98, but with humidity and whatever else they figure it feels like 106 degrees. Sucks. No, cuz I ain't got the parts yet. That whole dollar waiting on a dime thing, yeah. John Deere's kind of holding up the show on that. Sounds really good for a short growing season. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Now that I have the acre meter on the corn planter, I know exactly what I planted. Before we were going off FSA maps, and I was using FSA on my computer. I have stuff on here where I can measure fields. So if I do custom work, I can measure fields, so I know how much to charge customers. But honestly, it was very accurate because what I measured out, what I wanted to plant 4 acres, and then went out and planted it, it come out pretty much right on the money. So now when we combine and get the slips, we know exactly how many acres it was. We'll know when I get the slips back what the yield was. So I'm hoping it's 125 bushel. So they smell like money. Stinky money, but it's money. Yeah, Scott, I could have them FedEx to me if I pay for it, which is a possibility. Am I going to rake hay with the 60? There's a very good possibility. I'd have to change the hydraulic ends on the rake first. I've got Deere ends on it, and the 60 has Pioneer outlets, so I'd have to switch the ends, which is probably going to happen anyways because I think the 4020 is going to get Pioneer ends put on the back of it. The SCV outlets in the back, the blocks are shot. They leak so bad, so I think we're going to upgrade it. Yeah, the 4020 actually might get traded off. It's kind of in the thoughts right now. Yeah, I look tired. I'm always tired. I can't sleep. I don't sleep at night. I get up pretty early and I don't sleep much, so I probably always look like I'm tired. Steiner Tractor Parts. I have a book here from them, I believe, but I don't think I've ever ordered anything from them. I order most of my parts from Shoot, and then for other parts, I always try Allstate's Ag first because they have a location so close to us over in Downing. And then if I don't order from them, I order from Abilene Machine. So Abilene Machine is who I bought my high torque 12-volt starters from. I bought one for the 4020 and one for the 6400, both from Abilene Machine, for less than half the price of a rebuilt starter from anybody else. So, and they've been great starters. Waiting for the combine surprise. I'm sorry that you're waiting. How's it going, Bandit? How are your replant beans doing? It's kind of getting to the, well, I suppose there's a lot of guys still planting beans, but I don't know, in your area, is that kind of cutting it close to the end, or, well, some guys say in mid-July they can still plant beans, but WD is my sweetheart. Smoking the Panda Farmer. Been looking into heifers around 550 pounds at 136, 165 per head. Where in the world do you find heifers that cheap? Are they dairy or are they beef? That sounds awful cheap for 5.5 weights. I was offered cow calf pairs, calves at their side for 900 a piece. Um, I don't have enough ground. One of my neighbors is selling me some more land, then I would be looking because I'm hoping to, if I can get some more ground next door, I'm hoping to get up to 40 plus cows. Um, it is 98 degrees, Bubba. It's hot. I know that's not hot to you guys down south, but for us up here, that's hot. Considering it was just 20 below a couple months ago, so 120-degree heat, temperature swing in a couple months. It's hard on us fat guys. Keeping cool right now. That's what I'm doing too, hiding in the house. The wind would die down. I'd like to go spray beans, but it's too windy right now. Draft logic to calculate acreage on new lease ground seems to be accurate. I'll have to check into that. Is that on your phone or is that on the computer? Getting an IV of vitamins to help me gain weight. Yeah, hospitals are no fun. 60 is going to look cool raking. Well, because if you're looking for a 100 horsepower tractor with a loader, the 4020s might be leaving next year. I'm not for sure. We'll see what happens. I drove a 5420 the other day with a cab and a loader front wheel assist, left-hand reverser. Kind of fell in love with it. Set up for narrow rows. It's got the mechanical 3-point and everything on it. It'd be a nice fit here for spring and whatnot. Then the 6400 could stand the baler, but I still want a 7000 series for the baler. I want the 6400 available for other things. And I like a 5000 series for doing loader work. And I'm pretty sure that 5420 that I looked at will fit in my cattle shed. So basically, it'd be a backup loader for cleaning the shed because right now The 4020 will fit in there, but with only being two-wheel drive, it's not the funnest for cleaning it. And the 4020 is a little long. It's amazing how much shorter that 5420 is with a loader. But Jake the farmer, do I have a second job off the farm? No, I do not. I help out a few friends when they need help, but I do not have a job off the farm. Time for a cold one and making dinner. Talk to you later. See you later, Scott. What fire? Superior auction site. I've seen cattle calf. That for good prices. Huh. I'll have to look into that. I guess I don't really know where that Superior site is. Good to hear your replant beans are up. It's always nice when they're out of the ground. It's when they're still hiding underground that makes a guy nervous. Everybody gets a nickname. Beef. Superior. Yeah, send me the link to it. I'd be interested in seeing it. I mean, if they're that cheap, I'd be nervous right now. A guy that's looking to cull a few cows, that means they ain't worth nothing. Cowboy, how's it going? How's it going, Rick and Alicia? You hiding in the air conditioning with the kids? It's too warm outside. I'm sure it's a little bit cooler up where you are, but it's still hot and miserable out. One of my buddies just sent me a thing. He's in Duluth at 70 degrees up there. That actually sounds cool right now compared to what we have. Got access to nearly unlimited acres. You are a lucky, lucky man. Not around here. Between the big dairies and the big cash crop guys, it's hard to pick up ground. And anything that has been run down and mistreated has been picked up by the organic guys. There's a few big organic operations around here that picked up all that ground and tried getting that away from them. I semi-shouted you out. Well, I appreciate that. Well, Darren, for the right price, everything's for sale. I'll sell the farm for the right price. Somebody hands me $1.5 million and I'll sell it. $2 million, I'll sell it turnkey. Just Google Draft Logic area. Make sure you spell it. Sounds good. I'll check it out. It is a good tractor, but I think it's time for me to make some changes. And right now, how's it going, Ted? Right now, if anybody pays attention to anything with banking, it's big time in the news that they're not borrowing any more than they have to anybody. And if you're not already a couple $1 million in debt with them, they turn you down. So the 4020 might have to go down the road to upgrade. And I'm looking to upgrade, buy two more tractors. When I say I want a 7,000 and a 5,000, I'm not getting rid of the 6400. I'm keeping that tractor. I love that tractor. I'm just tired of unhooking the round baler every time I want to spray corn or do other things that only the 64 will go down the rows. So I want a tractor to sit on the baler full time, and it never fails. I unhook that tractor from the baler, hook up the sprayer, and my phone starts ringing. Can you come over and bale? That irritates me. At least if I had a 7,000 sitting on the baler, I could come back to the yard, park the 64 on the sprayer, jump in the other tractor and go. And when I come back home, back in the shed, jump in the 64 and go and continue on. So that's where I am at with that deal. Yeah, Bandit, this heat. I swear my corn has grew a foot in the last day. I just made that corn update up there yesterday, and the corn in the back, I never made an update. It was only knee high. Now, you guys watched that video, me spraying it this morning, and the front axle's tipping corn over. You know, it's not breaking it, but it's tipping it, so it's grew a lot in the last day. I mean, last night I think it only got down to 74 degrees or something like that. It was crazy. Me and the wife went to the bar last night to have pizza, and when we left at 11:30, it was still 70, mid 70s. So yeah, Alan, I know where DLK lives. DLK is a very good friend of mine. So was Anderson. I know where those guys are. Yeah. Well, thanks, Brylan. I want to do well too. My wife wants me to do well also. She told me when I quit my technician job that I had 5 years for the farm to make money. Otherwise, I was gonna have to get another job, and that's been 6 or 7 years ago now. Yeah, breaking record temps. I don't know if they're breaking records today here or not, but it's 98 degrees currently, 106 real feel. Sucks. Rick is out installing a water system for work, and kids, our baby is 3 months old, and we added 2 milk goats. I did you post that on Facebook? It seems to me that I saw the goats possibly on Facebook. Hopefully, Rick is working somewhere in the shade, not outside in the heat, because it's miserable out there. Right, money, dollar signs, buddy. See you later, Ty. Hopefully you I'm hoping your barley and wheat's doing great this year. Land is hard to get here as well. Yeah, James, that's the way it is here too. A lot of these guys, they will bid beyond the point that they cannot make a cash flow because I honestly don't understand how they can do it. Number one, they've got to be farming with old money, and they've got to be farming with land that's paid for, so they can spread that loss out over everything. So it looks like that they're making money. It's crazy how they can do that, but it's the same thing here. Um, you've seen my ground. It is not top shelf ground. I mean, 125 bushel, 150 bushel corn, and these guys are paying $300 an acre rent for it, and then digging a well and putting water on it to get 200 bushel corn. I I still don't see how it can pencil out. And here they've got to run the pivots around the clock because it's sand. Water runs through sand fast. And I can't remember what the one guy said. Was it how many gallons of fuel it takes to run that setter pivot around a full circle? Can't remember how many acres it is. What it costs. I mean, I can't pencil it out. I don't understand. There's a lot of guys that have a lot more experience with center pivots and corn than I do. But I just can't pencil it out. It's just crazy. See you later, cuz. Tighten the air conditioning. Sweaty nuts are no fun. No, Farm Mall Fanatic. I don't know your real name. Is it just because a lot of the land is owned by people that don't farm? They just have it for recreation, or too small of parcels, or what's the deal out there? I mean, here it's just every little piece, man. Everybody fights over to get it. Drink water, but all you can do. Yeah, hopefully he's staying in the shade because it's nasty out there. I thought I saw a picture of the goats on Facebook, either Facebook or Instagram, one of the two. Never understood Ohio. I don't know very much about Ohio. I went through there one time on my way to Virginia. Got lost. Went through Cincinnati through the business district instead of staying on the main road. That was fun. Then followed the Ohio River down. That was crazy. In the middle of the night on top of it. 40 to 65 an acre. That'd be awesome. Spraying some corn. And getting stuck trying to plant up hills. Ted, you should probably buy a John Deere so you can climb them hills. Ask North Texas Hay how much he would know. I had 34 Celsius here tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know the conversion on that. I only know Fahrenheit. Just like all the new equipment now. When they're talking about the head width and stuff, they say in meters or whatever. I hate that. I want to know feet. The reason people want so much land here is for manure regulations. You need so many acres to take all of them, nitrates, phosphorus. And that's the same thing here with the big dairies. And all the dairies shut down and the land is everywhere. Huh. How's it going, Strong Farms? 93. Waukesha Pilot. Went outside to get the mail and it's so hot. I saw a dog chasing a cat and they were both walking. It sucks outside. Oh, that is no joke. Yeah, James, I would love to pay 65 an acre for rent. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Eric, it's nuts. South of Ridgeland. I've got a neighbor, Knutson, north of me that you're probably related to. Yeah, it's real hot everywhere, it seems. Talked to a guy down in Florida here a little bit ago, and it's actually warmer here than it is there right now, but sounds like it's hot everywhere. 120 an acre, more from government-owned land. Yeah, 125 around here is pretty common. It's crazy what it's hard to make it pencil out on paper. I'm lucky I have what I have. Trying to buy more, but most of the people around here that buy land won't sell it because they want it just for hunting. So it's hard to get anybody to sell any land to you. Yeah, I'm sure Prairie Farm is warmer than it is at your place right now. It's amazing if you look at the temperatures as you go north, how much they drop. It's just miserable. Yeah, I agree with you, Farmall. There is so much instability right now in the prices. I was told that before they started these deals with China and everybody else, that FSA had this worked out that they have a way to keep the farmer from feeling the pain. I don't know whether that's true or not. They call it like the CCC payments or something. But the way it sounds, where we're talking at the bar the other night, and they won't do it as a direct payment. So who knows? They're probably going to try and do an interest-free loan type of thing or something again. I don't know. But, just the spring price compared to fall price, um, with revenue loss and stuff, I'm sure there's a good chance a lot of guys are going to get an insurance payout. Just carried a 53-foot trailer rebales to one store, and now the other store is hollering they need hay. Can't get enough time to move the operation. Well, that is a good problem to have, honestly. I'm glad that it's working out for him. Clint has got, I think he's got it figured out. Yeah, I'm every square inch I have is insured too. Everything is insured. You gotta protect your bottom line. And then you see a nice acreage place for sale and learn it is treed and bush land and not allowed to clear cut it to make into tillable land. Why would it not be able to be cleared and put into tillable land? It's amazing dairy prices are great here. We've got a cheap enough cost of production by following the New Zealand system, driving up the cow numbers. That's the worst part. They always say the cure for high price is high price. Cure for low price is low price. If you think about that hard enough, you'll know why. I don't know what orca is. I just don't understand why you can't clear your own woods. I see guys do it all the time in Canada, in the US, in other countries as well. Yeah, 35 bushels better than nothing. You know, even if the payment's got to come from the insurance guy. I think my guarantee is 27. That's with my percentage, so that's hard to pay the bills with that, but it's easier to pay the bills with 27 bushel beans than it is with 0 bushel beans. So yeah, anyhow. So no, I need to do some fencing. They got my field covered with manure. So hopefully we get some storms tomorrow and Sunday, and that'll push that manure in the ground, or at least wash the grass off. Hopefully that stuff will grow fast. Yes, exactly. It's a snorkel to keep you from drowning. So then one of these days, I need to go over there and get some posts put in the ground and get that back post put in the ground and start pulling some wire, but it's got to cool down a little bit first. If Ted has beans in boxes yet, that really sucks. That really sucks. James, I use 6-inch round by 10-foot long posts, and I put them in the ground 6 feet. So if you use the leverage deal, over half the post is in the ground, it's harder to tip it. So normally they stay straight. Normally, if I put in a corner post, I always try to tip it away. So over time, the fence pulling on it will pull it straight up. So it is warm, Dan. Very warm. It sucks. An Environmental Protection Agency. I don't understand that. How they can stop you from doing what you want with your land. If it's not a wetland, I don't see how or why they can stop you from clearing your woods. Yeah, smash the like button. Yeah, I like 10-footers. Really, for the price difference from 8s to 10s, it's a no-brainer to buy the 10-foot post. And with my postal auger, I can dig down. I can bury a 10-foot post. So it just works nice. I need to buy a 6-inch auger for it, though, so I don't have to, dig such a big hole and then tamp all the dirt back in. So one of these days I'll get it. Yeah, stay cool, Brad. Once you get Facebook, look me up, buddy. Or tell your wife to send me a friend request. Then I can just message her and reply. She can relay messages to you. Just load the drill. Going to plant beans. Talk to you later. Good luck, Dan. Hopefully you get them all on the ground. Hopefully get some rain on there and they grow like crazy. They've got the heat. Well, for wetlands, you shouldn't be clearing it anyways. You can't farm wetlands. Got 24 asses and seats and only 5. We're 25 and 10. Your uncle's never gotten crop insurance. Well, he's a fool. I couldn't imagine anybody going without it. It's like not putting insurance on your vehicle. It's like not having insurance on your house, any of your equipment, your cattle, nothing. I don't know how anybody could farm without insurance. I don't know how anybody could live without insurance. Yeah, I agree, James. It sounds crazy to me. But if it's wetland, it's wetland. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be cleared if it's wetlands, anyways. So you know, I and honestly, if it's wetlands, it shouldn't have cattle on it either. Because I've got that swamp across the road I could pasture too. But if I put cows in there, they make the bog so big you can't get through there in the wintertime if you ever want to go out and cut firewood. So I won't even put the cows in the swamp. Waste of money, he says. It's a waste of money till he has a total crop failure and he can't pay his bills. Wetland, the last video I made was us baling it. You split on the ground, they call it wetlands. Yeah, don't spit too much. But in around here, now with all the satellite imagery, I mean, they can go, the cameras are so good, you can basically have a quarter sitting on the ground and they can read the year on it, so you can't even go out and do stuff without getting away, getting away with it. So, because I'm thinking about investing in a backhoe, cutting my hills down. That back hill, if you look at it from the front, the hill goes up and over, and then there's a swale or ravine or valley or whatever you want to call it, then it goes hill again. I want to cut it down and make it so it's more smooth where a guy could drive a tractor around it. Not that I want to farm it, but if a guy made it so you could get a tractor around it, now all of a sudden you can go apply fertilizer on pasture. So I like to do the same with this hill. And there's a lot of demand for shale around here. A guy could, cut the hill down and sell a bunch of shale and then shape it right where a guy can get a tractor over. I'm not afraid to farm hills. I'm sure some of you guys on Instagram saw me fertilizing that hillside. I'm not afraid of hillsides. We have 23 acres of wetland. We get 7 grazing a year. I'll cut over half the silage this year. Yeah, you guys have a nice growing season over there. I wish we could graze year round here. I don't know what part of the states you'd have to be in for year-round grazing. I don't know if you got to go all the way down to Florida. I mean, even down to Nate's in southern Missouri, that stuff goes dormant there. So I don't know. Get in trouble for all kinds of things, don't you? Hills everywhere. Amen, Gary. I'm not afraid of hills. There's certain parts of the hills that scare me, but most of them don't. They got hills. Yeah, Ted, I know there's a few people that are grazing year-round in the Dakotas, but I want to be able to graze where there's no snow. That would be nice. Winters are awful wet. Yeah, and the only reason you don't graze in the winter is because it's too muddy, probably. Your grass stays green all winter, doesn't it? Here, it's, normally the end of October, the grass has froze once and it's already going dormant. So, I'll get out of my way here. Look at this shit. My wife is the best.
They even squeak.
They even squeak. You know that's fresh.
Real famous.
Real famous. Wife's awesome. Yeah, I didn't figure you could in Pennsylvania. As long as I got somewhere to go at the bottom, I'll go anywhere. Exactly. And the hills aren't so bad if you can go up and down. There's some side hills that get a little hairy, especially with my 64 being these narrowed up for narrow rows. If he had duals on, I'd go all the way up the hill back here, but you would not believe the looks I get from people when I'm up there. But I've got a neighbor down the road that cuts hay on the hillside just as steep as that, and then he bales it. with a kick baler and a round baler. The guy's nuts. I mean, he's even crazier than I am. We got 4 foot of snow. Yeah, we can too. Oh, where did you go? Store-bought burger, yuck. I don't know why anybody could buy any meat from the store. With all the deer that we put in the freezer, the pork and the beef, you won't catch me buying nothing from the store ever again. Oh, we could graze in November, but I doubt much past that. Aren't you in Texas, I want to say? I have such a hard time remembering where the heck everybody lives. What does she get you? Well, she took my other cheese away.
Ellsworth Cooperative Creamery.
Squeaky fresh. These have never been in the fridge. These were just, they were in the vat. They were in the vat here at 11 o'clock this morning. So they're squeaky fresh. Darn right. That's where my father-in-law's milk used to go to before he sold out and went to have more fun as a semen salesman and a herd mater type of deal. How's the plans for another tractor coming? Well, William, I have yet to have talk my wife into yet another job, so the tractor's kind of on hold for right now. We'll see how this fall goes. We'll see. I'm hoping next year to get another tractor, but I want to pay all my other loans off first. We'll see how that goes. But then, yeah, hopefully next year. Because like I had mentioned here a little bit ago, it sucks having to unhook that one tractor from the baler, go do something, and then all of a sudden somebody wants you to come bail, and you gotta unhook and rehook and unhook and rehook, and it's just a pain in the butt. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think there's some issues with something sitting around too long, like the mice got in there, maybe messed something up, or sitting outside and some parts rusted that shouldn't have, and there's a reason for that deal. So nobody will ever know because nobody ever tells a real story. Alan, that was back to you. Oh, where are we? Stop going down too far. Oh man, winter gets, yes. Well, we had that blizzard here at the end of April. How's it going, young Minnesota dairyman? A guy by me grazes milk cows till about December through the snow. Better try those curds in the microwave for 10 seconds. On the way of the. Oh, these ones have not been in a cooler yet, and I just rode my wife's car all the way from Ellsworth, so she picked them up right at Ellsworth Creamery. So they're gonna squeak. They're gonna be awesome. Yeah, buddy. So being your young Minnesota dairyman, I'm assuming you have dairy cows. Where does your milk go? Does it go to Ellsworth? Jeff's in the house now. Me and Jeff have a hypothesis on the combine situation. Father-in-law chopped corn on ground I would question putting hay up on. Sounds like an interesting story. West Virginia. See, I keep forgetting where the heck everybody's from. I thought you were in Texas. West Virginia's a nice country though. Nice area. Love to go there someday. Oh, another tractor. Wish I had about 4 more. Never unhook anything. Yeah. If only we could find them trees that grew money. Yep, it squeaks. I can hear her. How's it going over in Cornwall? How's the weather over there? It's really hot here. Tommy Farms, what's up? No, it goes to Ferrum, Minnesota. Bongart's Creamery. So what part of Minnesota are you in then? I don't know where that creamery is, but sure I could look it up. Very nice. Come visit anytime. I'd love to come down there and visit. My mother-in-law actually lives in Virginia. So, but she's all the way over by the ocean side. Alan Cooper does. Hot and very dry. Ugh. Hot's one thing, but when it's very dry, that's not good. At least if it's hot and you've had rain and the ground is wet, then it's not so bad. Farming life second name is what? Couldn't tell you. Jeff Raymond Rants Now. That would be a YouTube channel. You're darn right it would. It'd be an awesome channel. North Central Minnesota. About hour and a half east of Fargo. So you're probably about straight west of me. So I guess I'd be a little south of Fargo, but not too far. But so it's probably hot, miserable where you're at too. Seems like everybody down around here is hot and miserable. My chat keeps disappearing on me. Guy who was considered a big dairy farm in our area sold all his tractors and machinery to save on money and time. That's what listening to New Zealand do to you. Yeah. That guy that I milked for here a couple years ago, I suppose it's been 6, 7 years ago now, whatever. His is all New Zealand style. The parlor is even New Zealand style. It's swing 16. He's got over 500 head of dairy cattle, all rotationally grazed. The calves, as soon as they're weaned, they get fence broke. They're rotationally grazed all summer long. He has a leader follower set up, so the dry cows and heifers follow the milk cows. It's an awesome setup. Over 500 head, and they outwinter. He only has one freestall barn, and the cows stay in the barn at night during the winter and during the summer. And during the day, they go out and they eat out on on snowpack, basically out in the fields. But all the heifers and dry cows, they're out in the woods all winter long. They're not in a shed, and they are the healthiest cows in the world, I swear. So that it's a heck of a setup. That's one of the few farmers that I know that started with the amount of debt that he had and paid it off in a very, very short period of time. Everything he has is paid for. Brand new, couple brand new case tractors, brand new disc bind, brand new baler, brand new wrapper. It's crazy. And he only puts up enough forage to feed for the winter. And then in his rotational grazing setup, 90% of the farm you can cut hay on. There's about 5 to 10% that's either wetland that you can't get into. You can graze it, but you can't get equipment in it, or it's too steep hillsides. So it's kind of with the way the rotation goes. Cows lead, dry cows and heifers follow. Tractor and haybine follows a while behind, and then before long the cows come back through, and it's just a heck of a setup. Yeah, I suppose you have wet winters. I mean, snow doesn't hurt cattle. If you have cold and wet, where it's like rain wet, then yeah. New Zealand feeds whole milk to heifers that are like 600 pounds. Big milk bar. Huh, didn't know that. From I'm from Southwestern. Don't know much about farming. Jeff doesn't know much about farming. Right. I think it's just everybody out west, wasn't it, Jeff? Everybody out west? Something about being west of somewhere. I think that's what it was. starting to run out of grass for cattle. That is a sickening feeling. Trust me, I've experienced it many times. Need to make pure granting videos. Oh yeah. So anyhow, yipper. When's the last time it rained there, James? I thought it was just raining there not too long ago. You need to get Instagram, by the way, so you can put pictures on there. That way we can keep up with what's going on in Ireland. So what else has everybody got going on? We all just hiding inside, or anybody doing anything fun? I mean, Ted's working. Anybody else working while they're on YouTube? Ah, that sucks, Gary. I've been there too. Hopefully get the fences up though. That's kind of why I'm doing the fencing the way I'm doing it. So I can put the cows wherever. Desperate times, trying to plan ahead. I mean, so far this year's been great. Next year might be a drought, and you never know. So I'm trying to get the farm set up where we can put cows anywhere. Obviously, I can't get them across the road over there because I don't have water or power or nothing over there. But it'd be nice if that land was on this side of the road, adjoining this stuff, where I could fence the whole works. But sitting at work, sitting at work too. Getting ready for Jack and Jill tomorrow. Jack and Jill went up the hill, fetch a pail of water. Messed up the sprayer. Why would I mess up the sprayer? It didn't rain properly. Probably. Well, put moving on me. Drizzle for 2 days, 2 weeks ago. Huh. I thought you guys got a lot more rain than that. So that's why a lot of you guys, it was mostly balers over there because it was so hard. You didn't have a long enough dry period to get dry hay made or anything. Jeff, you'd be surprised at the amount of people that are the opposite. Sit in the house, will strep throat. Ugh, that sucks. The other problem now is we gotta find a way to put water out in the new pastures. It's always something, isn't it? Hit a fence with a boom. That happens. See, I have a gator trail around all my fields, so I can. That's my thing, right? Gator around checking the fields. So I have that 5 foot wide path around all the fields, so I don't have to worry about hitting fences with the sprayer or the hay vine. I try to get as close to the fence as I can with the hay vine, but I don't know why Wes wouldn't have took that pump to hydraulic shop and get shaft replaced. That's what I would have done. Well, yes and no. That case Windrower has how many hours on it, I suppose? And I don't think he's itching to get rid of it. So if I were him, I probably would have put a new motor in it too. Just, then it's new. I mean, I don't know. I would have put a new one in, then probably kept this one and had a rebuilt and put it on the shelf. You never know. Because if the other one breaks, then you'd have a backup there. Oh, I think we've all done that before, Farmall. You're not alone. Never ends. No, it doesn't. But it could be worse. Could always be worse. There is reason the shaft broke. Yeah. Could be abuse. Could be just wore out. You never know. We usually do get damp summers, but this year is very weird. Got very late snow and now a drought. I believe climate change is real. If I ask my dad or grandma, they never seen weather like this. Oh, I don't doubt that climate change isn't real. I just question it because if you look back, there are weather patterns. And in our area, when we first bought this farm, how long was it dry here? The first 10 years? We were in like a 10-year drought. And then it's too wet. But now, if you ask a lot of the old people, there was a couple years in the 80s that were really dry, then it got too wet. There was a couple years in the 70s that was really dry, then it got too wet. So it's kind of a cyclical thing, I think. I don't know. No, Gary, I haven't replaced the other one. I'm not going to change it until it breaks. What I have discovered, though, that new belt is about 5 inches longer than the other ones. And the very first time I've ever had where a bale didn't start right and I had to eject everything out and start over was the other day doing a custom job. So I do think that it should have all of them changed. So they're all the same length so that tensioner, shaft, and um, drum can come down and keep the belts all tight. But at this very moment, I don't plan to change it till I absolutely have to. Hopefully, I don't have to, and then maybe I'll just change the other 5. I'll order 6 more belts so I have one on hand as a backup. Oh, yeah, clear out 4 fence posts here in the spring. That happens. How's that calf doing? How many times a day are you feeding it now? Jeff, that calf is doing awesome, and we are feeding her 3 times a day. Fed her at 7, 8 o'clock this morning. I fed her at 2, and she'll get fed again tonight at 9. And she is very healthy, very happy. And we unplug that top one. Yep. And then plug my computer in there. Now I don't have to step over it anymore. No, just set that one on the ground. Yeah. I have to trip over the cord. Is that your Snapchat going crazy? I keep thinking it's mine. Yes, it is. There's at least one person in here that one of the messages is probably from him. I'm just 15 years old. Yeah, it doesn't matter what age you are. That's why they call them accident. Accidents have never been planned. Well, it wasn't even half a bale. It's when you first start. It hadn't even formed the core yet. It just packed up in there, and then the belts separate because that one is too long. So, and I don't know if there's dividers on that or not. I do think there's dividers. Otherwise, the guy should have moved that over to the middle. But I didn't exactly pick which belt broke. So, if it was in the middle, it would have been a lot better. But it should just get all new belts. I mean, it's got that many bales on it. It should just have all new ones. But I'm kind of a tightwad and I'll spend any more than I have to on it. It's hard to make money if you're spending it all. That's because I don't chat very much on Snapchat. I get enough messages on everything else. I don't really Snapchat. How's it going, Brian? Oh, too hot for this. Too hot for all of us. No, you can't take it with you though. But it's nice to have enough that you're not strapped to make your payments. Hot. HOT. All capital letters is right. Well, here's the thing, Darren, it's not preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance is greasing and oiling and replacing stuff that's wore out. Those belts, they're not broke. You don't just change belts because they've got bales on them. You change them when they break. You can change a belt and 3 days later have a brand new belt break. So why change one that's not broke until it breaks? That's not really preventative maintenance. You know, it's preventative is when stuff is wearing out, you change it. But belts, those are original belts. So those belts could go for another 10,000. They could go for another 30,000 bales. You don't know. It just sucks that that one is, like I say, about 5 inches longer than the other ones. And if I had that tool, I could shorten it. But if I shorten that one, then all of a sudden another one breaks, then I'm going to have another one that's too long, and then this one's going to be shorter to match the other ones, and it's just a snowball effect. So I'm better off, just leaving it. And belts shrink. As funny as that may sound, they shrink. They do not stretch. They shrink. Baler belts, anyways. I thought that was BS, but the Vermeer dealer told me that years ago, and he's right. They shrink. So, Preventative, yeah, wash and wax. You bet. Yep. I wonder if he greases it after he washes it, because pressure washers are very good at blowing water into bearings. So that's another thing. People don't understand that. That's a lot of reasons why you should grease your equipment when you put it away, so it's already ready to go when you use it again. But then it's not sitting with bearings that are empty with grease. So as they heat and contract, or they, as they warm and cool, they expand and contract, and that draws humidity inside them, which is moisture. Then water collects and they rust the bearings. People don't understand that either. But planning on going to bed at 10 tonight, but now it's 10 past 11. No problem, James. You had nothing to do anyways. Sleeping's overrated. Should be out on the prowl, running the streets. Can't extend the other ones; they're endless. If I extend the other ones, that means I got to cut them. Then they're not endless anymore. The endless belts are the cat's meow. No, Brian, I still have my beans to spray, but the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour out there, so I can't spray. And the way the weather app shows, it's supposed to blow all night tonight, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to spray tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I was hoping to get that last field of beans done and be done spraying until I got to spray that grass for the winter eye, but it is what it is. I got weedy beans right now. So, Scotty, what y'all doing? Hiding from the heat. Oh, stop. My belts had 8,000 when I changed mine. Huge night day difference on how nice your baler will bail. It's nice when all the belts are the same length. That's what's biting me right now. But if I do change them, I'm going to try and make it through corn stalks first, because corn stalks are hard on belts. Sleep, what is sleep? Yes, ask the mother in the crowd. She knows what not getting any sleep is. How's it going, Tom? How's Australia? How's the weather there? I suppose this is probably your guys' cooler season. I guess kind of like your winter or whatever down there. So that's why Dad wants us to grease the combine before we store it. Exactly. That is why your dad wants you to grease stuff when you put it away. I didn't really believe the whole belt shrink was true till I noticed the two belts that haven't covering up my thing here. Haven't been replaced on my 435. They're longer than the rest. When the reason started, no. Yep. I didn't believe that either. Hot and windy, not a good combo. No, it's not really. They're talking storms here tomorrow and Sunday. And when you go from 100 degrees down to 80 degrees, there's a good chance they're going to be severe storms. True, but I got to work in the sweltering heat. A lot of fencing to do. I suppose you got to fence up and down that new lane, don't you? Cold and wet. Better than hot and dry. Rain is always a good thing. Stocks are definitely hard on everything. That is why we charge so much more to bale corn stalks, because they are hard on everything. They're hard on teeth. They're hard on the steel on the sides of the baler. They're more, oh, they're almost like sandpaper in there. Rain, but not much of it. A little rain is still better than no rain, though. But you guys, I know you guys are a lot drier down there. So take whatever moisture you can get. Should tell KY to watch these live chats. He might learn how others do things, and his father isn't king. I don't know who you're talking about there. Yeah, Australia would be cool to visit, but man, you guys have some crazy stuff down there. Like everything wants to kill you. All the snakes, all the spiders. Shit, even the roos want to kill you. I unsubbed them, as you know. But when I watched them on how farms work, they grease when they store and as well when they're about to use it again. Yeah, biggest thing is greasing stuff before you put it away. There's nothing wrong with when you pull it back out, especially if it sits for a year. Pumping some grease back into it before you use it because grease does dry up over time. That's why the bubble up auger in my combine went to heck 2 years ago. All the grease that was in there dried up. What a guy should have done, which what a guy knows now, is I have a grease zerk deal that you put oil in and you take a hammer and you pound and it's supposed to push oil into grease to unjam grease zerks and stuff. I actually use that now. Put a couple fill it a couple times and squirt oil into there, and that mixes with the grease and it softens the grease back up. And then I, put a bunch of grease in it again. See ya, James. Have a good night. Have fun tomorrow building a fence. Almost boiled my peanuts out of water. 2.5 inches of rain on Tuesday. Boy, we didn't get that. Wish we would have. It'd be really useful right now in this heat. But you guys are getting close where all the roads are washed out and stuff. I need to dunk like Crocodile Dundee. Oh. I beg to differ on that. They work really good, especially if you have a torch. You take a torch and you have grease fitting first and you pound that in there. Works really good. Yeah, I know. I'm slacking right now, but I can't spray. It's too hot to just sit outside and drink sweet tea and stare at the sun. So figured Brad asked me to do a live stream, so I figured I'd do one. And I don't. He's not even on here anymore. But oh well. How are things going down your way? Getting ready for the Pierce County Fair coming up here soon? My daughter just come home from getting her fair calf ready. Ooh, how's it going? Are you staying busy? Trying to stay busy. Staying cool right now in the house. Not too bad. Just got to watch out for bushfires and snakes. Yeah, you guys got some crazy snakes and stuff down there. One of my wife's favorite shows is from Australia. You ready for the soaker tomorrow? I hope we get a soaker tomorrow. I could use a day to just watch it rain. Because I'm listening to the corn grow today, so tomorrow would be nice to hear it rain. How's it going? You're back, cuz? Yeah, looking forward to the county fair in a few weeks. Always a good show. Yes, it is. I'll have to send you a message or something when we're going to be down there. We'll be down there for the open class show, right? Open class show. Old Rivers Farm, how much are Holstein bull calves going for in your area? I honestly do not know. I haven't asked anybody. I haven't paid attention to that. I kind of considered it here last year getting back into Holsteins, and my wife ended that right now. She reminded me why we quit raising Holsteins when our beef herd got big enough. Yeah, just I'll have to get in touch with you one of these days and try and figure out directions to your place or whatever. Maybe swing by or we'll meet you at the fair or something. Me and the wife will meet you and your wife or whatever at the fair and shoot the breeze or whatever. So I'll send you a message on Facebook or something. Um, how's it going, Gerald Farms? For everybody that's still watching, there will be. I'm gonna cover addresses because not everybody needs to know addresses. But I have a box here that we're going to do an unboxing. Most of you already know what it is, but there's a lot of people that don't see Gerald Farms, and I'm going to give him a proper shout out when we unbox this. Hopefully it gives him a good subscriber boost. But I have that box doing unboxing, and I'm waiting for the right project to do to use that, what's in that box. So one of these days we will do that. Gerald Farms, I'm not going to say your real name because I don't know if you want. Some people already know some people's real names. Other people don't know people's real names. So I'm holding on to that box for right now. And I have a feeling the combine is going to be the next thing that gets an oil service. And I'm hoping that will work on it. So I will do an unboxing when we get the combine ready for winter eye, which looks like it's just weeks away. I'm ready for it too. So our county fair is until September. Yeah, Brian. We have one fair where my wife is originally from. We have one fair where I'm originally from. Then we have the fair that we're the county that we're in now. And then our town actually has its own fair. So my daughter has already showed at one fair. So she's got two more to show at. The fair that I grew up, where I lived growing up, we just go visit old friends there. Couple inches for you. How was your fencing project going down there? Couple inches of rain would be good. You did a hand on back. He didn't run out of beer, did he? 7+ inches of rain, 15 miles west of our farm. We drove weather this morning, fields or lakes for about 4 miles. Sounds like northern Wisconsin. There's parts that had 15 inches of rain and the roads are washed out and gone. Yeah, it's a mess. What did she say? She's yelling at the kids outside. $75 in Minnesota. I have about 40 of them. Are you just going to raise them yourself then, or are you hanging on to them, or wait to sell them, or what do you got going on there? $75 a piece is, I don't know. When I got out, I was paying $150 a piece for them. Sub doing, yeah. Everybody, anybody that's watching and has us, go check out Gerald Farms after we're done here. Check out his channel and sub to him. He's a new channel. Makes a lot of hay down south. Right on, whatever works, man. Just drop a note here or Facebook. Got to run. Yeah, we'll catch you later, okay, farmer? We'll try to hook up this year. Bottle calves are a lot of work. It's not really that they're a lot of work. It's when you get coccidiosis or something, and no matter what you do, you can't keep them alive. It's disheartening, is what it is. Daryl Farms or Daryl. When I see the Freon, I knew it was either 64 the combine. I'd like to get the air work on the combine, but I don't know how long it's been since it has worked. I don't know. It's probably going to need a whole new system. The belt's off the compressor, so I'm pretty sure the compressor seized up and junk. So it'd take a lot of money. I think it would be easier to buy a small window unit for a house, knock out the side window or the roof, and blow it down through the roof of the cab, and strap a generator to the combine and run that. Is honestly what I think would be easier to do. It's crossed my mind, trust me. There's actually a picture of something like that on Facebook or Instagram where somebody mounted a 3,000 watt generator in front of the tractor, and they mounted a window unit up on top of the tractor. Good idea. Then you could take it with you. You can use it in everything. One unit. Be awesome. The neighbors will talk, won't they? Wish I had some beer. Yeah, we don't have any beer in the house either. I don't drink at home. I only drink at the campground or at the bar. If somebody stopped by and had some beer, I'd have one if they brought it with, but we don't stock beer here. My wife will become an alcoholic probably. She's married to me. Oh, still trying to get T-post, but I might give you anytime. You know how to get a hold of me. Just remember, it's free advice. Free advice is not always good advice, but you didn't have to pay for it. So, draining here about every other day. Still have about 15 acres to cut. First cutting, man, is it hot. Yeah, at least you're getting rain though. Gerald Farms, he's in the comments. Oh, about 550, 600 pounds, I'll sell them until I need money. That's usually the limiting factor in how long we can hang on to something. About 40 acres of cornstalk material in my waterway pasture. That means you got a lot of rain. That's exactly what my friend has on his line painter. What do you mean on his line painter? You talking like the window air conditioning unit and the generator thing? So Brian, you're saying I should do it? I'd consider it. Because sometimes this house, see, we have a window unit that they mounted in the wall of this house, the guy that built the place. And some days it's not enough. I wouldn't mind going to buy another one that I could jimmy rig onto my combine to run for there, while I'm using the combine. And then throw it in one of the other windows when it's not being used out there. That'd be awesome. Or if I ever get my washroom deal done out there, it'd be nice to have air conditioning out there, but I don't spend enough time out there. My wife would probably shoot me. Ain't that right, dear? RV unit. An RV unit would be nice because then it'd be all self-contained like a window unit. You just got to run 110 to it. Got inch and a half rain in southwest North Dakota. Had reports of 9 inches in Mercer County. Wow. A lot of rain for an ND. I'll stop by with beer. You better start driving. I'll see you in about 10 hours, 12 hours. AC unit. Number 70. Awesome. Small roof unit off an RV. I should check into that because it would be nice to have air in there. It gets very hot in that cab. And with the way this year is going, that winter is going to be ready. I'm guessing 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be hot and miserable. And it's usually hot and miserable with beans. And when you're hot and miserable, it makes you cranky. And then everything is just worse. So I might look into something like that. And I wonder if a guy rigs up and puts a second alternator on the combine and the second battery, if a guy could put a 3,000 watt, what is it, inverter or whatever on there that would run it instead of having a generator. But then you're not killing your original alternator that keeps your main combine battery going. It'd be worth it. It'd probably be cheaper than redoing the system in the combine itself. That's just going to sit for, all a year and only get used for a total of a week, a year. It's just going to go to heck before the following year again. Yeah, it sucks sitting in a really hot cab. And honestly, you're better off with just a roof and no windows. Then the air can flow through. Then it's not so bad. But any windows that keeps the air from moving, then it's just miserable. I'd like to put a canopy on the 4020. It'd make it a lot more pleasurable when the sun's baking. But normally when I'm in the 64, I've got the windows open anyways. I don't even run the air in it most of the time. That's why I didn't charge the air in it until today. And it only took a can and a half to get it back up to full. So it wasn't that bad. Greener than I've seen in a long time. That's good. I'm actually hoping to go to North Dakota here one of these days. Switch to unlimited data. That's awesome, man. Oh, ears must have been burning. Who are you talking to? Oh, the big guys are here. About the same idea. Um, I went too far again. About the same idea, Jeff. No AC in these old grain trucks. 260. That's the only air conditioning you got there, if you can even get it going 60. For South Carolina. Two trucks like that. Done with chores and back. What do you got for chores, Brad? We're going to do a little poll here. We've got 28 people watching. Everybody in the comments on Jeff's intro say like or dislike for Jeff's intro, because I think we're going to have a lot of likes. I think that is something we should all vote on. If we like it or dislike it. I think it's all going to be likes. I like open stations too, as long as you got a roof over you to keep the sun off you on the worst part of the the worst time of the day. Air conditioning isn't good for you all the time. Normally, when I sit in air conditioning, I get a sore throat and stuff for a couple days afterwards. So I don't always sit in air conditioning. And our air conditioning, this is the first time it's been on this year in the house. Live stream. I did a live stream, Canadian Welder, because Brad, you'll see him in the comments here, he asked me to do a live stream, so he was the one that instigated this. Heat index of 105 here, 106 at our place right now. Both the inverter idea. I just think it would save having a generator on the combine running wide open next, just one less engine running. It wouldn't be very hard to build the brackets for a second alternator. Have a second battery that would run just the inverter and that deal. Although, them units on a motorhome are designed to run that way, so I don't know. Went all hay this year. Like. $8 a calf here in Middle Georgia, raised 15 to 500 last year. Didn't make a dime. Isn't that sad? Got a lot of likes here, Jeff. Never seen it. You'll have to see it there, young gun. Helping some friends of mine, they're out of town. Feeding sows, checking cattle. Getting in touch with your inner farm self, aren't you? Hot weather here too. That's right, excavating 320. It's hot. Haven't turned the AC off in your truck yet. Well, my Canyon, I'm glad the air conditioning works good in there so you don't sweat when you're going to the bar. Otherwise, we've been taking the white truck everywhere. Just roll the windows down. But it hasn't really been terrible till today. Today just takes the cake. It wasn't that long ago that we were 20 below. We are currently at 98, almost 100 degrees. That's a 120-degree temperature difference in a couple of months. Us northern boys aren't used to that crap. This is just miserable. They're right, dear. Not even listening. Even Canadian Hawk likes it. Every chance to get, love farming. Amen, brother. Almost would need a second alternator. They are just a GM starter, aren't they? They sell 2,000 or 3,000 watt inverters that work with factory single alternator. At least they claim. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check into it. It all depends. Those 3,000 watt generators, you can normally buy them for about 150, 200 bucks. It might be cheaper just to go that route, put the gas in and run it, take it off. And you can always use that for something else too. I don't know. It's only going to take a couple hours to combine the rye, but it could be a couple miserable hours. Heat index is 98. Heat will be here tomorrow. Bought my farm truck 2003 2500 extended cab long box Chevy. Peppy Farms. Where did you spray 32%? Did you spray 32%? No, I have never sprayed liquid nitrogen. Just Roundup to kill the weeds that are coming up in there. There's a lot of foxtail. There's lamb's quarter and stuff is just starting to take off. So I spray that out quick. So I think it's going to be canopy by early this next week. So I want to get that taken care of, and then I should be good now until we chop it off and plant our cover crops. But I've been talking with Ted and Jeff and those guys about liquid nitrogen and stuff, getting ideas because I don't know nothing about it. So basically, I would have to do a lot of work to my sprayer because I'm on 40-inch centers right now. I'd have to put new mounts and new drops and new tubes and hose and everything. So I don't know if I'm going to do liquid or not. April 15th, 18 inches of snow. Today, not so much. Where are you at, Wits End Ranch? Because it was end of April here when we got that blizzard. And like I say, you go from that to this. We didn't have a decent spring where you had 65-degree weather, sweatshirt weather for a month. It went from cold to hot. Truck is full, gotta go. Keep going, bud. Just pop in out when you can. Can't remember it's a GM the only way. Cool. It's all that matters, buddy. It's all that matters. Talk to Wes. Talk to Wes about what? Gasser. That's all you need. Copy that. We use steamer tips on our sprayer. Streamer tips. And see, that's what Ted told me, but the problem is I have 40-inch spaced, 110-degree, like flood type nozzles. So in order to do that, I would almost have to go get more mounts and then space them so they're the 30-inch or whatever, and then put the Ys on. So I'd almost have to have 2 runs of hose and all kinds of mounts and everything on there. I just don't know if I want to go through all of that. Honestly, I've had good luck with urea and agrotane. At least I think I have. I guess I don't know any better. So, I mean, it's a possibility. But first, I want to do the booms where I can make them go up and down type of deal. And I'm going to put a wash tank on the front. That'll help balance this. There's more tongue weight because that thing does the teeter-totter bang clanging thing. 40 miles west of Twin Cities. So you're not that far from me. Yeah, you got the same blizzard that we got, and Ted had it the day before us. Yeah. About 32. The problem I have, Darren, you always say ask Wes. I have asked Wes a lot of things over the last 8 years, and Wes has never once replied to anything that I've ever asked him. That's why I don't ask Wes anything anymore. So, um, it doesn't do any good to ask a wall. He's got too many subscribers that comment all the time and ask questions. He doesn't have time to go through them all, so why waste my breath asking him? I'd be better off looking up his phone number and calling him. But I've got enough other people that I'm friends with that can tell me their knowledgeable experience, like Jeff or Ted, those guys that I know that they know what it is. I don't need to ask Wes. I mean, he's not even a corn farmer, or beans. He's growing hay. So that's why I don't ask Wes. Yeah, I agree, Young Gun. All you need is a gas truck. You don't need a diesel truck. Unless you're pulling every day of the week, you don't need a diesel truck. I've had many diesel trucks. I've had many gas trucks. Diesel just costs more to maintain. When they break down, they cost an arm and a leg to fix. Unless you're towing every day. Michigan farming, what's a 7.3? Had a hard frost in northern Michigan 3 weeks ago. Are you in the UP or lower Michigan? But I wouldn't doubt it. When you've got Lake Michigan and Lake Superior, those are cold bodies of water. I don't doubt it. Only power stroke, only way to go. coming 6 in a row ready to, you know, and that's the thing. If I were to go get another diesel, I'm going to build a Chevy and put a Cummins in it again. But I just honestly don't know. This 6.0 that I have, it's been great. It tows everything I want it to. It gets about the same mileage whether it's towing or not. Fires right up. I don't have to worry about the turbo going out or injectors going bad or anything like that. And it only costs about $15 to change oil. Why do you combine rye? I combine rye for the seed for all my cover crops. And I have a person that wants to hire me to plant winter rye for him, and he will buy whatever seed I have left over after planting mine. So that is why I combine the rye. I want it for the seed and then the straw for the calving barn. So thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. How's it going, Nicholson Farms, Saskatchewan? How's the weather up there? You guys a lot of heat too, or just a little bit? Hot cutting wheat today. Hopefully you've got the air working in that combine. Oh, the strawberries going. I see you had some had a post here not too long ago that strawberries were ready. Northern Lower Michigan, not UP. Okay. Does get irritating buying 13 quarts of oil. I would have to agree. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I dislike diesels. I just, for the average Joe, it doesn't pay to have one. Just plain and simple. Picking some today. Cool. We had rain yesterday. Well, it's always nice to get rain right before the heat. Old Rivers, I'm not for sure on that yet. I'm kind of waiting to hear on a square baler. I'd like to do both. I'd like to round bale some and square bale some. And when I say square baler, I'm talking small square baler. Waiting to hear back on the John Deere 2014. Guy asked me if I wanted to buy it this spring, and I said yes. And I asked him at the bar last night, and he didn't know what he wanted to do. So I guess if he doesn't want to sell it, then I guess we're just going to round bale it. It's no skin off my hide. I just thought small squares would be nice to have in the calving barn. The old 7.3 Mac U600, you have to have a chiropractor on. Yeah. How was young calf doing? She is doing awesome. She's a little sweetheart. I made the video on the wrong feeding because she scarfs the bottle down every feeding except for the one feeding that I recorded. So, how's it going, Brian? How's Arkansas? 24Ts are great little balers. They were good balers for their day. They had good capacity and they were decent balers. Yeah, I suppose, Peppy, our heat's coming your way. Usually what we have today, you're going to have tomorrow. How's it going? I never know if I'm how to say your name for sure. Is it yours? Urs? I don't know. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. Hot. Seems to be the story everywhere. We're all having hot weather. Egg coin line balers. I would have to say an egg coin line baler would be a good baler. I had a Heston 4500. That was an awesome baler. I never should have sold it. But we went to our own bales, so I wish I never got rid of it, and I just would have kept it to make bales for the horse. I'd like to make a couple hundred small squares of horse hay, and then have, say I need 200 small squares for the horse, make 250. So I had 50 bales for the calving pen if I put heifers in there. And then I'd like to make 100 small squares of straw, so they're in there available for the calving barn. But I sold it. Too cheap, actually, but it was an awesome baler. Yeah, that's hot out there. You're right. How is it there for you? Uh, it's 98 degrees here right now with 106 heat index. Way I said the last one. Wisconsin Timber Cutter, just bail 492 with the 12. Beer 30. I bet it is. Yeah, it's if you walk out there, it's shoulder height on me. It's almost 6 feet tall. You know, down the better than the hollows. You get up on the knobs where it's sandy, it's only about waist high, so 3 feet. But yeah, it should be really good straw. I wish it was planted 2 bushel the acre, not one. But I was buying seed last year, so this year I'm gonna have my own again. Um, well, Darren, you have a long ways to go then. Once you get older and wiser, you don't care if people laugh at you. But the first time you have a $3,000 repair bill on it, who's laughing now? Because if you buy a 24 valve with a VP44, I guarantee you'll be changing that pump at least once. And I have changed many of them, and it's minimum $1,500 a pop for anything rebuilt. So that's just starters. Then you've got injectors, and then you've got this and you've got that. I don't think it's worth it. But then again, I wouldn't be buying a Dodge either. Um, I've had so many Dodge trucks in my life that I can't. They're not a Chevy. I don't know. The newer ones are better, but I think they're just so uncomfortable to sit in and drive. I've had enough of them with death wobble too that I can't stand them. Small square, sure handy. At 4,600. That would have the same knotters that my 4,500 had on it, and it was awesome. Simple to maintain. Biggest thing with them is the knife that cuts the twine. Replace them if they have rust on them, and as long as everything else is within specs, I never had a problem with mine. Having a cold lemonade. Might have to. It's only 95 to the north of you right now. How far to the north of me? You must not be too far north of me because I think I don't know if up by Stone Lake is even that. No, I don't know, somewhere up in that area. Put a file system on it. That's not foolproof though either, and that costs money too. I small bale for my calves and horses. Yeah, that's basically what I want. I want it for the calving pens. So I had small squares for bedding, and then um, it's easier to feed flakes of hay to cows when they're in the calving barn than especially small flakes or flakes up small bale. How's it going, back farms? Ram, Ram, number one of the junkyard. If it wasn't for the Cummins motor in a Dodge truck, I don't think Dodge would be around anymore, honestly. 15 miles north of Downing. So we're neighbors. Hot, hot, hot. Yes, it is. If you're 15 miles north of Downing, you are approximately 20 miles west of me. My 7.3 hit 330,000 today. Yep. My 6.0 hit 230,000 yesterday. Warning, I'm back. You didn't need to warn us. You could have just said hi. Your system will work for Doma. I enjoy your channel. I want you and Jeff to have a great 4th of July. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Peppy. You have a great 4th of July, too. Ridgeland. So, yeah, me and you are next door neighbors. Those engines have nice shipping crates. 24 T for sale. She's a beauty. The only reason I was going to get this one is that I was like a couple $100. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be trying to buy it. 6.0, 240,000. That 6.0 is a heck of a good motor. You know, and for Dodge, a 5.7, those are a good motor. And my neighbor, he used to run Cummins all the time, and he is brand new. This is 2 years ago. His brand new Cummins had to go back to the dealership for had all kinds of issues, and they let him use a brand new 1-ton with a 6.2 gas in it. He ended up trading off that Cummins on that 6.2, and he's had that truck ever since. He loves it. So, Canada Day, long weekend here this weekend. Simply says, "Hello, sir. I'm new to your life." Well, thanks for joining. Yeah, but I gotta warn the thin-skins about my nickname giving. Oh, everybody's got to have a sense of humor. So what is Canada Day about? I don't know nothing about Canada Day. Is that like our Independence Day or what? No, go on the couple hundred. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Someone I know has a John Deere 3010 gas for sale. He is asking $6,000 for it. That's steep enough. We put about 2,000 bales through our 24T a year. That's pretty good. They're good baler. They're easy to work on too. I actually did a bunch of nodder work to this one about 10 years ago. So probably that emissions crap. I would probably have to agree with you. $6,000 exactly. Drinking beer. You want to drink barrel meat, get the White Birch on Highway 64. When we were founded, I think. You don't even know what Canada Day is about, and you're a Canadian? Come on. $6,000. No thanks. I'd agree. If it was a 3010, I sold my 3010 diesel on an auction. So I bought the 4030 on an auction, and on the way there, I took my 3010 and dropped it off on the auction, and it brought 3,700. That was a 3010 diesel. Dual hydraulics, 3-point, wide front, the whole kit and caboodle. 3,700 is sold for. So $6,000 for a gasser? Oof. Oof. Yeah, got a good truck. Ah, the bottle calf is doing great. I'll make an update video of her. Not today because it's too hot to video, but probably tomorrow or something. I'll make a video. Go figure. I make a video of the one feeding that she would fiddle fart around. Otherwise, she scarfs the bottles right down. Feeding her 3 times a day now, 3/4 of a bottle, 3 pints. Better 2 o'clock. Just she scarfs it right down. She's gonna be a big pet. It's the day it quit snowing. 4th is about drinking beer, right? It's setting off fireworks, I think. Yeah, thanks, Wits. She's doing great. I'm pretty sure she is gonna be like a puppy dog to my daughter. So she's already wanting to start training her to lead, but I told her we should wait a couple weeks first to let her get a little bit stronger. You got a halter? Well, they picked up a halter for the calf today, so I'm sure the training to lead is gonna come pretty soon. Yeah, every day. Just watch Michigan Farming's videos. And in almost every video you're gonna see a beer can in it somewhere. We won't hold that against you though. Yeah, she's gonna be a mother one day. She's probably gonna get AI bred next year. We were kind of discussing she's gonna live with the horse at least for this year. Then this fall, when we separate the calves from the cows, when we wean, she'll go in with them for the winter, and hopefully we can keep her, trained to lead and stuff. And then she'll probably bounce back and forth between the cow herd and the horse pasture because I think one cow in there with the horse could help the horse keep up with the pasture. And I thought about putting her out with the other cows during breeding next year to get bred by the bull, but I'm kind of thinking maybe that we will AI breed her to a bull that we so desire, and then if she has a bull calf, we'll keep that for the next breeding bull. And then we'll just keep AI breeding her, being if we have her trained to lead with the ropes. So I don't know, it's just an idea. That's the truth. I had a 4-H calf that got halter broke by the 4020. Yep. There's a lot of people, and a lot of these guys that tie up their calves, they'll put them in a calf hutch but tie them up. A lot of times those are easier to break because they get used to what it feels like to have that pulling on them, and they learn to not pull against it because they're not going to go anywhere. So that's a possibility too. But gotta go feed my bottle babies. See ya. Are you gonna ride her around like a horse? No. The only thing I ride around is the gator. Uh, my horse stops eating when I turn the key off. No, that wouldn't be inbreeding because the sire is an AI, and then her calf would not breed her. We would keep AI breeding her every year. Her calf would breed the rest of the herd once he's old enough. So the following year, there's no inbreeding there. It's what size gator you have? HPX Trail Gator. It's a work model. It's not a fancy all IFS squatty thing. It's got the solid rear axle because when I put weight in, I don't want to squat like it's falling apart. Yeah, it could be questionable with calves down the road if we kept breeding her every year and keeping the bull calf to breed. You would, there's a fine line in how you figure that all out, but it should be fine. Your little girl gonna do a 4-H show? Yeah, she's already had stuff at one fair this year for 4-H. She's got a calf for another fair that's a dairy calf. And next year, I'm pretty sure if this calf works out, she'll probably take this calf to the fair plus all the other stuff that she does. So, and then she can actually show at 3 different fairs. So, uh, exactly, Floyd Farms. It's a work machine. It's not for out joyriding really. I mean, I joyride around the fields every day watching my crops, but I don't take it on trails or nothing. It's never run wide open. It's basically for hauling firewood, for checking crops, building fence. It's a work machine. It's not really for play. What about the new Gator John Deere does now? The interior looks like a truck. I honestly haven't seen one. I don't I don't want nothing fancy like that because if you have something fancy, then you're afraid to break it or you're afraid to get it dirty. Mine is a work machine. The only thing I wish I had was a roof and a windshield that, if you're in the rain, you could ride without getting totally soaking wet. But I don't want all that fancy stuff. It doesn't get used in the wintertime, so I don't need an enclosed cab. Um, when you're fencing and stuff with it and for work, you're in and out of it all the time. I don't want doors, so I don't know. I don't even know what the new ones look like. Good to have kids involved in farming. I'm hoping she sticks around the farm with me. Uh, if you have the means to feed it, I mean, if you have a good way to feed the silage, you corn silage tons out well. You can feed a lot of cows with a little acreage of corn. Um, you know, I, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't tell you no on the raising silage to feed your cows. If you have enough hay, you'd almost have to pencil it out if it's worth it. But I'm actually hoping to get enough hay around here in the next couple of years that I don't have to feed my cow silage anymore. I'm only going to chop silage for the young stock and the steers. The shed is kind of on hold for right this moment. Trying to take some other things taken care of first, but the washroom is going to happen here pretty soon. Sweat St. Bernard.
The money tree isn't growing.
Yeah, the money tree, the leaves didn't come this year, so I'm kind of waiting on the shed. I have the steel. I have to get posts. I have to get some more lumber. I haven't had any yet, but I'm kind of now it's hot, so it's no fun going to be on the roof right now. So I'm kind of just waiting a little while. You guys know me, it kind of last minute, and then all of a sudden, boom, I do it and it's done.
Start a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, my wife said we could start a GoFundMe page. The rest of the story showed it. See, I don't watch them guys. I did for a little while, but I just there's so many other channels. I like watching the smaller channels, you know. So I don't watch a lot of the big channels. I watch Wes, but I don't watch a lot of the other bigger channels. I like the smaller guys that, you know, I get into that more. I don't know if I missed something here. Somebody wants to buy goats because of the meat over last winter. I don't know who you're talking about there, Alan. That's what Dad supports. Buys the 4-H calves, sheep for butchering. Yeah. At least when you buy from like the fair, you're supporting the 4-H and FFA and the fair. I agree, Logan. 25 grand for a gator? I paid 6,000 for mine with only a couple $100 on it. 25 grand, that's about what I'll spend the rest of my life on farm trucks. Maybe. I don't know if I'll even spend half that on farm trucks the rest of my life. One fancy ride, I'd rather have no doors for fencing, like you said, exactly. Scotty says hi. Scotty says hi, boss lady.
What?
Scotty says hi, boss lady. I need to GoFundMe for the farm. I think we all do. Be cool one day when we can send order through a live stream. Wouldn't that be cool? Especially when people are cutting hay and it's still snowing here. I don't anymore, but watch if it pops up only. My life is only worth 24K. Isn't that sad? I see all these people that buy $60,000 diesel trucks. They live in town. They pull a camper that a half ton could pull around. And then they've got, you know, a $30,000, $40,000 camper behind the $60,000 truck. And it's like, what am I doing wrong? Smell-o-vision would be awesome. The pick you posted a while back, your cousin's balers pile. Did he bale that with the BR 780 you were running a while back? Yes, he did. He makes, obviously they're 5 foot wide. It's right around 4 foot. They're a 4x5 bale. That pile, I don't remember how many 100 bales he said was in that pile. But then he had another row of 100 behind there, and he bought his wrapper is a egg wrap, mounts on the 3-point or on the front of the skid steer, single wrapper. Yeah, that's all for his goats. See you later, Gary. No room for me to sit once all the dogs eat on my gator. Mind blowing, exactly. Not for what PA Farms has been doing. What are you talking about? I know the feeling. I think we all do. I've been looking at trading my car for a truck. Used diesel prices are ridiculous. Exactly. Come on. Trust me, every one of them is making mad payments on all that stuff. Exactly. Difference there is they're in debt. I can't imagine spending 70K on a power stroke. No kidding. I honestly don't know how it worked. He says it's been working great. He had to change the starter roll. He bought that baler from down south and had a bunch of issues. he changed that bottom starter roll to a different style, and he's said it's been a lot better. Yeah, he was having all kinds of trouble, and he couldn't understand why my 648 would run circles around it. But now, after looking at the brand new 450 round baler, they've got a lot better. It's like a rotary style stuffer feeder instead of like mine. Goes up, pushes back, then comes down and goes back type of deal. And it vibrates so bad and shakes. The new ones are continuous rotors, so it doesn't. It looks like a heck of a lot better system. Yeah, used truck market is crazy. That's why I like mine rusted out. I pay cash, a couple $1,000 for it. It's paid for, done. And all these people got to have a reliable truck. This, that, and the other thing. Making $1,000 a month payments. Last time I checked, you could buy a crate motor for $2,500. You could buy a rebuilt transmission for $1,500. So what they spend in 1 year on payments, I could totally rebuild my whole truck and still be debt free. Spreading chicken. Okay. At least the suburbanites buy enough truck for the camper. Rough enough to share the road with them as it is. Yeah, that is true. I only gave 9,500 for my 7.3. Disappearing on me here. I'm regretting it now on my $30,000 truck. Can't imagine spending $10 on a Power Stroke. Oh, Duramax, Wisconsin timber cutter. How much power on a BR 780? He's got that New Holland 8160 on there. That's 95 PTO horsepower. I wouldn't go any smaller than that, but I really don't know. We spread chicken litter at 8 tons to the acre. I'll let you know how many bales to the acre we got after we bale. Tomorrow we've gotten about an inch of rain on it. Normally we would have had 3 to 4. Oof, it's not very much rain for what you're used to. Farm Wolf and Act, that's because Canadian Welder never uploads any videos. See you later, Gerald Farms. Duramax. Wisconsin timber cutter. I'm just wondering if I don't know who you are. I had somebody log for me about 8-10 years ago. They ran all their Duramaxes. Posted a couple days ago. He has poultry and stuff. I'd love to get another old square body Chevy, like a 1-ton, put a Cummins in it again. One of these days, I am hoping to get back to where my crew cab is. I know the guy that has it now. I found out who owns it. It's sitting in the weeds, got trees growing through it, but I'd like to go make a video of it when they're, early in the spring or late in the fall when the weeds are dead, and I can actually get to it. I like to make them an offer to buy it back. I'd like to buy it for the rear end and cut my motor mounts that I built out of it and put in another truck. But we'll see what happens. Wasn't me. Thought maybe it was the guys that cut mine or that cleared my back part run all Duramaxes, and they have land by Ridgeland, and his son lives for the son or the owner, and the dad lives up by there. They've got land by Ridgeland, but he lives in Chippewa Falls. See you later, Back Farms. Sell the 64 and W for Larson one of these days. Sell the 64 and W. I might know where you're talking about. That's just across the river from me. Nah, Darren, the person that bought it from me was Sunstrom's Pit Pumping. They bought it. They knew that motor I just had rebuilt, and they use that motor to run hydraulic pumps, which runs liquid chip pumps. So they bought it for the motor. Then they kept the 5-speed, I think, for parts. They might have kept the transfer case too. I don't know. But then one of the guys that worked for them bought the body of the truck. So that's where it went to. Want to put an LS in my 79. That'd be pretty cool. How many dairy cows in Wisconsin? Probably more cows than people. It's on the river. Yeah, probably right across the river from me. Guy's first name is probably Dennis. Ever get parts for the 60? No, I mentioned that earlier. I'm going to call John Deere on Monday. If they don't have them, tell them to cancel the order. I'm going to call Downing Tractor. I'm going to have them order me the Bendex. On, quit disappearing on me comments. Right now, for budget-wise, I'm thinking maybe a 5.3 with a carb attached to my SM465. I would say the first upgrade I would do is get rid of that SM465, put an ND4500 in it. Yeah, Scotty, as soon as I get the parts, I'll make a video putting the starter back together, getting the tractor going. Just been waiting. Like I said earlier, if I'd have known that I was going to be waiting for 3+ weeks for a starter Bendex from John Deere, I would have never uploaded the other videos. I'd have waited until, this is a long period between those videos and now. But, yeah, anyway. Yipper. So, anybody else got anything else? Or I think I'm going to end this here pretty quick and go find something to eat. I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, Wisconsin Timber Cutter. You'll when you go bid that job, you'll have to come on this side of the river. I'm 1 mile north of 22 on the right-hand side. Life goes on. Yep. About to bust up a vid. Sweet. Homemade pizza sounds pretty good. Leftover meatloaf. Yum. Yeah, you have a good one too. Before the 4-wheel drive gets put together, I'm thinking eBay Turbo on the C10 with 350. Was to just smell like a St. Bernard. Oh, I'm glad we can't smell that. Oh, what does Michigan call it? Swamp ass and whatever else. Hot, hot, hot. Exactly, Matt. Bad. Bad. There's some people that it would be cool to be able to send stinky orders to over online. Don't get me wrong. But I don't really care to smell your stinky St. Bernard smell. Absolutely. Ken through mail. Snail mail. What is mail anymore? That's just a bill box. Hey, go enjoy your family and thanks. Have a happy 4th. You too, Scott. Special delivery. Stinky delivery. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call her an end here and we'll find something to eat. Go outside and pass out. So, see you later, promo. See you later, Midwest. Just message me if you have any more questions on the pasture deal. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And catch you all on the next one.